Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the week ahead analysis. We're going to be looking at the news coming up as well as some charts of interest. So we do have quite a lot of high impact data this week. You can see throughout the entire week, apart from Thursday, we actually have lots of high impact data, including many speeches from central bank speakers, including the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. We also have the RBA Governor Lowe speaking, and we also have a rate statement from the Bank of Japan, as well as the Bank of Canada. And that's going to be quite interesting to watch this week. The Bank of Canada especially, due to the fact that they're leaving rates unchanged at 4.5%. Now, a pause in the rate hikes were sort of expected at the moment, due to the fact that the housing market is slowing down, consumer spending is slowing as well in Canada. So that's really shown us that the rate hikes are potentially having an effect in Canada. So they are leaving rates unchanged. Now, before that, however, we do have some other data. We have CPI month on month out of Switzerland. That is forecast to come in lower, drop from 0.6% to 0.5%. So again, CPI coming in a little bit lower is good news. The RBA also to announce an interest rate hike from 3.35% to 3.6%. Again, this is likely to happen. It's expected to happen due to the fact that the RBA have been quite vocal as well over raising interest rates to try and fight the rise in inflation, and they've talked about needing to act in Australia. We also have some interesting data out of the US this week. Not only is the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell testifying, so there's going to be a lot of volatility around those testimonies. We do have non-farm payroll this week, and this is something that the Federal Reserve have talked about needing to see decline. Now, we are probably going to see a decline. The last numbers for January really shocked the market with a 517, which was really unexpected. So I don't think we're probably going to see another 517 going into February's figures. However, it is forecast to come in at 206. I think usually for non-farm payroll, if anything was above sort of the 250 mark, it was usually quite a good jobs number. So I think if you see anything here that says 250, maybe even average hourly earnings staying the same and unemployment rate staying the same, you know, that could put a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve still. So what they do need to see is the average hourly earnings coming down. They need to see unemployment rates rising, and they need to see the employment change coming down. So they want to see sort of the trifecta there of sort of negative data there, because they're trying to keep the pressure off inflation at the moment. And if people are still getting into work, if average hourly earnings are still climbing, then people are more likely to spend in the economy, which is then going to put pressure on the inflation rate. So that's what's going on in the US. Now, for the strength meter this week, not a lot of change, to be honest. The yen is still one of the weakest currencies. Dollar still remains the top currency. We obviously started to see dollar give back some of those gains last week, so it'll be interesting to see if we get a reversal here this week, or whether we see some further strength. Now, typically around those high impact news weeks, the dollar does perform a little bit better than the other currencies. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch as well going into this week. Starting off with Euro US dollar then, so I'm still predicting Euro dollar to come down towards these lows here, around about the 1.0500 level. We didn't quite make it there previously, and price has pushed back to the upside last week. Price trading above the 1.0600 level now, so looking to see if we get the sort of dollar strength, which will push price down to this level here, even down through this trend line support, or are we going to see the dollar fade still? And if the dollar does fade, then euro dollar could head back towards the 1.0775. Moving on to pound US dollar then. So pound US dollar performed as we expected last week, pretty much ranging, and if that continues going into this week, we could see pound US dollar head towards the 121, 121.15 handle. And if we do get into around about that level and price starts to reject, then we could expect maybe some shorts to come in or some sellers to come in and push price down to the range lows. Vice versa, if price comes down into these lows and we get a bit of a double bottom pattern, price could trade back to the upside. If price breaks through the range lows, I'm only saying this because I might be expecting a little bit of dollar strength this week, but if we break through the range lows, then we've got the 1.1850 handle and level that could be tested. Going on to dollar yen then. So a dollar yen, one of those currencies to watch due to the currency strength meter. Dollar, one of the strongest currencies, yen, one of the weakest. So we'd expect price to continue to trade to the upside. So I've put a couple of demand zones in here. We've got the 134.50 as well as around about the 135.50. So it's actually a bit of a zone like this that I'm looking at. We have trend line potential support coming through, which has formed through these lows in here. So if price was to come into this area and we started to see some kind of consolidation, we could then see buyers step in. If buyers do step in, then you're probably going to see price trade towards this area here, which is that 137.70. If we trade through that, then the 139 could be tested. Finally then, Kiwi yen. Kiwi yen also one to watch. Kiwi's been gaining on the strength meter, yen the weakest, and you can see all this consolidation through here. That is a large build-up of volume before price bursts to the upside. So I'm looking to see if price will come back in, retest the volume area, and then continue to the upside. If I was to expect sort of a point of control to be through this area here, I've kind of marked it down through around about the 83.80 handle, and if price gets to that, we could see some buyers stepping in here as well, targets being that 87.50. Thanks for watching this video update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.